Hello, and welcome to Firehouse Theater Company, located here at the John Hand Theater and Colorado Free University. You students are among the first to get a first glimpse at our production of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. But first, allow me to introduce myself. My name is Brian Brooks, and I am the director of the show. So let's backtrack here a little bit and see how this production all got started. Back in August of this year, we had open auditions for the entire season for Firehouse Theater Company. That is the 2012-2013 season. And the auditions lasted 2 days. We basically just have an open call, as many actors that want to come try out and do what is called cold readings. That is, we the directors provide them with short copies of certain scenes from each play. Some of them are familiar with the plays, and some of them are reading it for the first time. So the whole process takes a few hours. We did a good 6 to 8 hours of auditions just in one night alone. And as time wore down, we were all starting to see who would make good possible actors for each of the 3 shows. And it's a very long, very strenuous process.
Well, I had to prove to you at long last what kind of man Edward Hyde is.
And based on your investigations, what kind of man is he?
A villain. A brute.
So, as if the first day wasn't hard enough, the next day we had what are called the callbacks, or the second round of auditions. It's at this time that each director begins to kind of get a grip on which actors, which people kind of fit best in their cast. And on the second day, we really take a closer look at the actors we feel best fit the parts. Then as the hours wind down, we have to ultimately choose which actors are going to be in our shows. This also means that we have to sadly reject a few people and say, sorry, we cannot cast you, thus bringing the casting process to a close. So what happens after that? Basically, we have a little time to relax. We get the actors who have made the final cut for the show. I have 6 actors in this play, 6 wonderful actors. And with you in the theater today is one of my actors, Sam Garvin. He's playing Hyde number 3. And he will show you much more of the theater layout today and explain more of the rehearsal process. So let's talk about a little bit about the rehearsal process. Our rehearsals for Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde basically ran about 4 to 5 days a week. What's involved in with the rehearsal process? Well, the actors obviously have to memorize their lines. They memorize their lines, and then we start blocking out the show. And blocking is basically just setting up the movements and figuring out where everything's going to go. Then you have to add in all the other fun stuff, sound effects, the props, the actual set itself. You'll see in the video and the images here the process of a construction. It starts on a simple piece of paper, but then we build it up, and finally we have a set. But what else is involved with the rehearsal process? We also have postcards made, which detail what the show is, so we can hand these out to anyone who wants to come see the show. Then ultimately we get to the very fun week, which is called Tech Week. If any of you theater students know what that is, then you know Tech Week is never really that fun.
Will that be acceptable to you, Mr. Enfield?
At this time we implement all the costumes and the lights and the final sounds, and now that we have finally reached it, you can see that we started basically just with a simple idea. We started with a simple cast, and it is now progressed into this. So we have our show, and you guys are here on the final day of our dress rehearsals. So when you all come back to attend the show on October 29th, the Monday Industry Night, take a look at all the things you noticed in this video and realize how many things had to go into the process of creating the show, Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. The actors getting all memorized, the actors getting their costumes and the props and the usage of that. And myself as a director here, this has been one of the most fun experiences I've ever had directing a show. It was difficult, it was challenging, and I got to work with many close friends and many new people as well. And I really hope that when you come back and see it, you will enjoy it as much as I have.